Okay, we're going to divide mixed numbers. So again, the process is exactly the same as multiplying by mixed numbers, except for there's going to be one extra step because we're dividing, okay? So we're going to start here. We've got a mixed number divided by a fraction, okay? So what are we going to have to do first? Well, we got to turn it into to an improper fraction. So again, same process. Remember, we're going to multiply our whole number by our denominator. So 5 times 3 is 15. We're going to add our numerator. So 15 plus 2 is 17. So we have 17 over 3. We've got to keep our division sign right now because right now we're just changing this into an improper fraction. So we're not changing and flipping yet. We're turning this into 2 fractions so we can then keep, change, flip. Okay, we have to do this first. We have to change this to an improper fraction before we can do our KCF, okay? So don't forget that, because if you start flipping before it's time, it's going to mess everything up, okay? So we've got 17 thirds divided by 3/5. Now we're going to KCF. So we're going to keep this. We're going to change this to multiplication. We're going to flip. We're going to make this the inverse, so it's going to be 5 over 3. And then we're in the same situation. We have to multiply straight across. Well, we've got 17 times 5 and 3 times 3. We can't cross simplify 17 and 3 because they're both prime. We can't cross simplify 5 and 3 because they're both prime. So we're going to have to multiply our 17 times 5. So let's do that up here. So we have 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, so we have 85 over 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So what are we looking at, guys? We're looking at an improper fraction, so we're going to have to turn it back into a mixed number. So this is 85 divided by 9. Well, we know our 9, so 9 is going to go into 85 how many times? It's going to go in 9 times because 9 times 9 is 81. Well, we've got 81, but we need to get to 85. So we've got 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So our numerator is a 4. Our denominator doesn't change. We have to look and see if we can simplify. We've got 4 and 9. The only factors that 4 has is 2 and 4. Neither one of those are going to go into 9, and so we know that we're finished. Okay, so now we're looking at a fraction divided by a mixed number. So our fraction can stay the same. Remember, we have to turn both of these into fractions before we can KCF. So we've got 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14 over 5. And now we're ready to KCF. Okay, you have to be really careful when you're dividing mixed numbers because you can't forget this first step. You have to turn both of these into fractions first before you do your keep, change, flip, okay? So we've got 4/7. We're changing our times. We're flipping our second fraction. So we've got 5 over 14. We're seeing if there's anything we can cross simplify. We can't cross simplify 5 and 7 because they're both prime. 4 and 14 are both even, so we know both of them have a factor of 2, so we can go ahead and simplify by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Remember, we're doing this just to make our numbers a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable. So we're now multiplying straight across. So we have 2 times 5 is 10. We have 7 times 7 is 49. We have to look and see, can we simplify this? Well, we know the only factors of 10 are 2 and 5. Well, 5 doesn't go into 49 because it doesn't end in a 5 or 0, and 2 doesn't go into 49 because it's not even, it's an odd number. So we know that that is our final answer. So now we have a mixed number divided by a mixed number. So again, our first step is we have to turn both of these into improper fractions. So we've got 4 times 4. Remember, we're multiplying this. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 is 19, over 4. This is divided by 8 times 1 is 8, plus 7 is 15. So we have 15 over 8. Now we have 2 fractions, so now we can keep, change, and flip. We keep our 19 over 4. That's the one we keep. We change our division to multiplication. We flip or turn into the inverse our second fraction. And now we can look and say, okay, is there anything we can cross simplify? Well, 19 is prime and 15 only has 5 and 3, so that's not going to reduce. We've got an 8 and a 4, which we can simplify because these share the factor 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we have 19 times 2, so we're going to double 19, and that's going to be 38. We have 1 times 15, which is 15. What are we looking at? We're looking at an improper fraction, so we have to turn it into a mixed number. Remember, this is 38 divided by 15. So if you need to do 38 divided by 15, you can do it that way if you want to, but we do it the mental way. So 15 is going to go into 38. Well, 15 doubled is 30, so that's perfect. So we know our whole number is going to be a 2. But 2 times 15 is only 30, and we need 38. So from 30 to 38, that's going to be 8 more, and our denominator stays the same. We have to stop and ask, can we simplify this? Well, 8 has a factor of 8, 2, and 4. 8 doesn't go into 15. 4 doesn't go into 15, and 2 doesn't go into 15. So we're at lowest terms, and that is our final answer. So again, the main thing you have to remember, guys, is when you're dividing mixed numbers, you have to turn everything in to an improper fraction first. So keep your division sign in your first step, and then you're going to KCF.